Listening. Exercise 1. You will hear a man called Andrew South giving a talk about how we will travel in the future. For questions 1 to 10, complete the sentences with a word or short phrase. You now have 45 seconds to look at part 2.
The way we get about has a profound impact on the way we live, affecting where we set up home, work, and holiday. So, looking into the future, what changes might come about in the way we get around? What big ideas are out there, and do they have any chance of seeing the light of day? Well, one big idea is flying cars. So what will they be like? How will they work? Well, they will have closed cabins, heating, stereos, and enough room for 2 people. You'll take off from a field or a runway near your home and be able to fly to towns and cities across the country. After you land, you'll detach the fixed wing from your vehicle and continue your journey by road, right up to your final destination, just as if you were travelling by car. The engines will be very fuel efficient, so they'll be cheaper to run than the cars we use now, and there will be less impact on the environment, as you'll be able to go in a straight line from A to B rather than on winding roads, as is often the case now. But will flying cars really happen? Well, it's certainly a possibility. One microlight firm is already building closed cabin vehicles, and some of these can fly for up to 4 hours, and they will not necessarily be very expensive. A combined 3-wheel car and microlight could cost about £30,000 at today's prices. However, like everything, there are some downsides. The main one, in Britain at any rate, will be the weather. The British weather often prevents microlight flying, and you can only travel during daylight hours. Also, you need an airfield nearby. But flying cars won't mean an end to conventional cars. I'm sure we'll still use them, but the car of the future will be more environmentally friendly and much safer. Engines could be powered by a waste-fueled reactor. Alternatively, petrol may be replaced by fuel cells, which combine hydrogen and oxygen. The design will probably be different too. Cars will be rounder, and they will have sensors to detect pedestrians and other cars, and have air cushions both inside and out. They may also run along invisible tracks via satellite technology. Traffic flow could even be controlled with vehicles talking to each other to regulate flow, so no more traffic jams. I'm sure that 20 years from now we will see examples on our roads. However, so many millions of people own cars that it'll be a long time before environmental and safety improvements become commonplace. The technology is still experimental, and it remains to be seen whether car firms are willing to invest in this. Finally, people always ask me about jetpacks as used by James Bond in the film Thunderball. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint everyone, but it's looking increasingly unlikely that they will ever feature as a future mode of travel. And it's simply because it remains difficult to build a cheap, reliable version which has a practical use. They're handy for retrieving cats from trees, cleaning hard-to-reach windows and arriving in style at a party, but not much else, I'm afraid.